The Avalanches, We Will Always Love You. The third album in quite a long time, actually, from a critically acclaimed plunderphonics group, The Avalanches. And if you're not familiar with the term plunderphonics, it refers to a specific type of electronic music that uses samples but doesn't really try to mask what those samples are coming from. They're almost trying to use specific bits of music to call in the listener without messing with it, without changing the exact quality of what that thing is. Whereas, a group like Public Enemy would take samples and mix them up so much that you couldn't really understand what they were supposed to be in the first place. This is a situation where you can clearly hear where the sample is coming from. For example, the track Interstellar Love on this album has a very, very clear sample from Alan Parsons' project Eye in the Sky. And for those of us who are attached to those original versions of it, that can be a little bit of an annoyance, to be frank. But in this particular example, it plays out in such a way that it brings the feel of that song back in a sort of a reverential way. And so it adds a little bit of a layer of feeling to this song that maybe wouldn't have been there otherwise. Beyond its reverent use of music of days gone by, it also carries with it some themes of like life and the afterlife and connections in between. So this sort of like the communication that the listener has with the music is very similar to what the narrator in the piece has with people who perhaps they were close to who are now passed on and living their existence out in whatever lies beyond. The album is also chock full of guest stars, and many times some that are oddly juxtaposed. Like, for example, there's a track on here where MGMT and Johnny Marr do collaborate. There's another song on here where Pink Sifu and Rivers Cuomo from Weezer collaborate. So many of these guest artists kind of show up from very different styles and collaborate on these songs in a way I think is pretty convincing.